Today I'm going to show you how to make this easy Cinderella pencil topper. Let's get started. Now this time, instead of using polymer clay to make my charms, I'll be using these princess buttons that I found at Hobby Lobby. I'll be using hot glue to attach an eye pin to the back of each of my 3 buttons. So here's my eye pin. All I do is squeeze a little bit of hot glue. If you have cool glue, you can use that also. And then there's the glue, and I'll just attach the eye pin to that, leaving it sticking up a little bit, and really press it down into the glue, like this. Now I finished my carriage and my dress. The last thing I'm going to do is my horse. And what I did with my horse was white, and I actually decided to paint it gold, and I used this kind of paint. But of course you can just leave your horse white if you like. And I'll just take my little eye pin and attach this to my horse. Squeeze some hot glue, and I'm going to attach it to the horse's head. And then just slide my eye pin right down into the hot glue, leaving it sticking out a little, like this. Now in my pack of buttons there's also this castle and a glass slipper, but I'll be using this for another project in my second video. Now the glue on the back of my buttons is hardened and cooled, so I'll use a jump ring and a lobster claw for each one to make them into charms. I have my jump ring here, and I have 2 pairs of pliers, and I'll just twist the jump ring open. Hold it like this and twist it open a little bit. Then slide in your lobster claw, and then slide in the eye pin of the button. Hold it back in your hand, and then twist it close again, like this, and then just twist it closed. And there you have a charm. I'll do the same thing with the other 2, and then I'll get started on the pencil topper. Now that I've finished with my charms, I'll get started on my pencil topper. I've removed the middle of my rainbow loom because I'll only be using these 6 pegs over here. This pencil topper is made the same as my Valentine's pencil topper, except I'll only be using 2 colors this time. So the first thing I'll do is take 2 rubber bands, and I'm using light blue, and I'll twist them into a figure 8. I'll place one on this peg, and then one on this peg over here, twisting it in the middle so that it looks like this. Then I take 2 more rubber bands and do the same thing, twist it into a figure 8. Then I go from this peg to this peg over here. I'll twist 2 more, and then I'll go across the middle. Twist them again into a figure 8, and then stretch them from this peg to this peg over here in the middle. And this is what you end up with. Now I only need single rubber bands. I'm going to go from this peg to this peg, and then this peg to this peg, working my way all the way around, this peg to this peg, until I get back to the beginning again. And then I'll start pulling them over, all the way around. And lastly, this peg to this peg. Now that I've finished doing that step, I'm going to take 2 rubber bands and just pull them over and bring them to the middle. And it doesn't matter where you start. Take your 2 bottom rubber bands and bring them over towards the middle. It helps if you hold down the side when you do this. Go over to the middle. Go all the way around, and then you're going to add another layer of blue. Now I finished adding another row of blue. I'll just start pulling the 2 bottom ones over again, and I'll do this 5 times. I'll add 5 rows of blue, and then I'll add a different color, either pink or white, and then I'll go back to adding blue again for a total of 11 rows. So just keep doing this 5 times. I finished adding 5 rows of blue. Now I'll just push the whole thing down, and I'll start adding a row of light purple. I don't have very light pink, so I'm using light purple. If you have light pink, you can use that. And just go from this peg to this peg, this peg to this peg, this peg to this peg, and work your way all the way around again. Now I finished with that row of purple. I pulled over the bottom 2 for each one. I'm adding 1 more row of purple, and then I'll add 4 more rows of blue. When I'm finished, I'll have a total of 11 rows, and then I'll show you how to finish it off and add the charms. I finished doing my 11 rows, and now I'll just show you how to tie it off. Take one of your loops and stretch it over to the closest peg, and then take your next loop and stretch it over to the closest peg to that one, And then take this final loop here and stretch it over to this peg. When you're finished, you'll have 3 loops because we have 3 charms. It will look like this. After you have your 3 loops, just go under your loop, take an extra rubber band, and you're just going to tie each loop off. Pull it all the way through, and then go through again so that you have a nice little loop on which to hang your charm, like this. Do this for the other 2, and then you can remove it from the rainbow loom. Now I finished taking this off the loom, and I'm just going to slide my pencil inside it, and then I can attach my charms. Move this to the side, and all I do is open my little lobster claw, and I like attaching these to lobster claws so that then you can change the charms if you want to. I'll attach the charms on here and then I'll show you what it looks like. And there you have it, your very own Cinderella pencil topper. Thanks so much for watching this video. Be sure to check out the second video in which I'll show you how to make a pencil holder to put this pencil in. Thanks for watching.